What's up everyone, David from dodmedia. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 awesome keyboard shortcuts, 5 more awesome keyboard shortcuts because I already did one last week, and these are going to help you keep your hands on the keyboard, stop reaching for that mouse, and save a load of time in After Effects. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to make these short, I'm going to make them snappy. Keyboard shortcut number 1. Moving a layer up or down in respect to the other layers in terms of hierarchy of what is above and what is below. Now last week I showed you how to change your selection up and down by holding Control or Command up or down on the arrow pad. It's exactly the same except that you do Control Alt up or down, or on a Mac it's Command Option up or down. And by doing that you can select your layer, say this pale grey layer here. I want to make it go behind this darker grey solid because they're not 3D objects, which means that they're on the same plane. There's no Z-axis. So Control Alt up or down, or Command Option up or down, and there you go. You can make it go anywhere you want without having to reach for your mouse. Keyboard shortcut number 2. Adding more than one property visible to keyframe, to edit and all that without having to reveal all of the transformation properties. So position, scale, transparency, opacity, rotation, mask, all of that. Pretty simple. If you press P, it brings up your position. If you press S, it brings up your scale. Problem is, you can't see position and scale by pressing P or S. But if you hold Shift, P, it'll add in your position. If you want to get rid of it again, or you want to get rid of scale, just hold Shift S and it'll get rid of scale. That way, if you're keyframing more than one transformation parameter in a layer, but you don't want to have the whole layer expanded and take up all your window space, you can just easily put those transformation properties in there, the ones that you want, and don't bother with the ones that you don't want. Keyboard shortcut number 3, reveal all the keyframes and expressions on a layer. If you're working with a layer and you've got a bunch of keyframes on it and you're not quite sure when stuff is happening and you've got expressions on it too, just hit U on the keyboard. Pressing U on your keyboard once will reveal all of your keyframes. Bam, easy. Pressing U twice will reveal all of your keyframes and any expressions you've put in that layer. That way it's super fast to get this holistic glimpse of everything that's happening with that layer. Keyboard shortcut number 4. Still not sure about this one. Stop reaching for your mouse to drag along to go to different keyframes. Instead use J and K. JK, LOL. By using J, you can go backwards to the next visible keyframe. That means that if you've got 2 layers that have keyframes visible on them and those layers are expanded, you're going to be able to navigate between all of the keyframes on those layers. If the keyframes on one of these layers is hidden, J and K isn't going to take those keyframes into consideration because it can't see them, which is really nice because it means you can fly through a composition or you can get really precise step by step on every single keyframe you have in your animation. So use J and K. And finally, keyboard shortcut number 5, I and O to go to the in and out of any layer. Now, this is a confusing one because in Premiere Pro, if you press I or O, it sets an in point and an out point for the layer. It actually changes your in and out points on a layer or on a sequence. In After Effects, it doesn't change anything. It's purely for navigation, which means that if you select a layer that ends at, say, around 8 seconds, and you hit O, it's going to take you to the last frame of that layer. If you select the layer below it, for example, which starts at around 4 seconds, and hit I, it's going to take you to the first frame of that layer. That's super handy because you can navigate through the layers with Command or Control up or down, and you can hit I and O to go to the ends of those layers. So no more dragging the mouse along or trying to skip ahead 10 frames at a time. You just go to the end or the beginning of a layer without any fuss. And bonus one, keyboard shortcut number 6. Speaking of Premiere Pro where you do I and O to set in and out points and how that doesn't translate well in After Effects because it's purely for navigation, well, how do you set in and out points on a composition in After Effects? It's pretty simple. When you want to go to the beginning of your composition where you want it to begin, you press B and it'll change your work area to where you've pressed B. If you want it to end at a certain point, you press N. And it'll end at that point. If you want to trim that comp to the work area, it's pretty simple. You do Shift Control or Shift Command X. And now your composition is fully set within the beginning and the end points that you've set. So when you export it, when you bring it in via dynamic link, anything like that, it's going to respect that beginning and end point, or in and out point. Okay, that's all from me for today. I hope you learned something from this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a comment in the comment section with other suggestions of keyboard shortcuts that you need to know for After Effects. I'll be making more of these because they're just really helpful. Everyone knows different keyboard shortcuts, so maybe if we can kind of pool all that knowledge together, we'll all be better animators. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated with DoD Media videos by me. Say something nice or witty in the comment section and you might win something free from my store. Make sure to check out my Instagram at DoD Media, and I'll see you in the next video.